Hey, I just wanted to give a quick update on like the macro view of Bitcoin and some of those levels and why they actually matter and why they could be resistance points, but also key targets if we keep drifting up, which I think we're more than likely to do. So like I said, we could have like a little bit of retest back down in the short term, but we broke out from this pennant that we were trading in. We could have a little bit of a retest to it, and that would come in around like maybe 20,800 if we really sort of dropped quite a bit, which is always possible over the weekend. Weird stuff happens, but I'm not too concerned as long as we're like above this trend line right here at about 20,700 or so. So if we now start to move back up, we have about 23,000, which is the next level of interest, which was basically this breakdown point right here. If I go, you can see it's right there. And then we have on the upside this trend line that's coming down, and it actually hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different times already, and so that would be a big level of resistance, somewhere around 24,900, 24,500, depending on how quickly we get up to that mark. So I am watching for that trend line. It's going to be a little bit of resistance there, but also if we want to go to like a bigger set of resistance, we have this right here, and there's two things that are confluent here. We have the CME gap. If you're not familiar with that, Bitcoin futures, that's what's traded on the CMEs, and it closes on Friday nights. It's where the professional traders trade Bitcoin because, they don't trade it on these rogue exchanges or even, Coinbases and stuff. They trade it on the CMEs. So anyway, what happens, that closes on Friday night, opens back up on Sunday night. So if actually the spot price of Bitcoin moves between Friday night and Sunday night, dramatically, what happens is that creates a gap in the CME. So when it opens back up on Sunday night, the price went from like one spot to the next spot and created a gap in the price. And those gaps are filled at over an 80 percentile in the history of Bitcoin. So, that's usually they get filled, and it could get filled this time, or maybe it doesn't get filled this time. But I think there's a good possibility that if we break the 25K mark, we do fill that. And then here's where we would meet our biggest resistance. You can just see, because we have all of this coming in from over here when we were stuck at around 30K, it creates a huge line of resistance. This is called the VPVR, and you can see right here we've created a lot of volume and a lot of trades in this region right here, but we also created a ton of it as well here too. So that's where I would be actually completely unloading for sure, somewhere in this neighborhood. I might even actually unload just short of the CME gap, just because a lot of people might start talking about how it's going to fill, and hey, maybe it doesn't fill, maybe it stops just short of it. At this point, like in this neighborhood right here, I'm not really worried about risk and reward ratios, because even if I sell and somehow Bitcoin breaks above 30K, the upside from that point is pretty limited. I mean, you're looking at maybe 35 or 36. But I just cannot see us getting anywhere past that. So whatever, if I lose like, out on a $5,000 move or $6,000 move, I'm okay with that, because considering once we were to probably top out there, it's some kind of crazy breakout. The downside then becomes, over $10,000 or even $15,000. So I'm not really concerned about missing a small part of the action if we somehow break above this level. I'm more concerned about not exiting out here and then basically, having a lot more downside to go. So you can see, like, from the long-term macro, we basically have this trend line coming in, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, that would be if Bitcoin, like, super got going and tried to test back up here at around 35 or 36. I just don't see that happening with the stock market unless it just got roaring. I could be wrong, but I'm okay with being out a little bit early. I don't have to catch the top of the market. I'd rather just make sure I don't catch, with my pants down and just basically get wrecked. I'd rather be in cash and be able to pick things back up when they come back down and test these levels. Anyway, that's the update. I hope you guys are doing well today. Take care.